Okay guys, welcome back to the Tea in PT, hosted by myself, Joe, Jay and Ethan, here today to give you a bit of advice when it comes to gym anxiety we're talking about today, something all three of us have plenty of experience with. Jay, do you want to start us off? Talk us through it.
Not a problem at all. Hiya guys, what are we saying? So, I think the earliest time I ever experienced gym anxiety was walking into the gym for the first time, even telling myself I need to go to the gym. Growing up, I was completely skinny. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit. For anyone that does know me, you knew I was like 5 stone wet. If I turned sideways, you wouldn't see me. I was all penis. That's all I was. You know the saying about skinny men and big penises? It's true. So, what I figured out was the reason I wanted to start going to the gym when I was younger and I never followed through with it was because of my anxiety. I did start it up for 2 weeks and I was like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And then it was like, I can't keep it up. I don't enjoy it. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm too nervous to ask anyone for help. And my reason of getting into it was from school. Being bullied, every single thing like that. Like, I had a name that rhymed with a really famous word that most people don't really say anymore. So if you can understand, my name's Jay. So I'll let you put 2 and 2 together what my name rhymed with in school. Definitely weren't hey. So for me, I wanted to go to the gym just so people would fuck off and leave me alone. Do you know what I mean? Because I used to see people walking around that were massive and like, fuck me, no one said nothing to that guy. Do you know what I mean? The biggest kids in school were always the ones that never really had anything said to them. They were just left alone. And ideally, that's what I wanted to be. But I couldn't. I knew that when I first started. But now, I do have to say, big thank you to all the guys that used to take the piss at school. You made me who I am now. And I'm grateful in a horrible way. So my ability to overcome that was one day, left school, didn't go into school, fucking hated it. And I thought, do you know what, I need to make a change. Couldn't get into the gym at the school because it was always monitored. So we went to the Church of Pain in Gloucester. Really old school bodybuilder gym back then, not how it looks today. Like, well, it might still look the same to be honest. But when I first got in there, I was shaking. I can, like, if I really picture back how I was back then, I stepped in that gym and I was like, fuck me, I have no idea what I'm doing. And you've got famous bodybuilders in there, like Lee Powell. That guy is a unit.
Monster.
And little old 15, 13-year-old me, I think it was, waddling in with joggers on that clearly were too big for me, a big hoodie on.
Still wear joggers too big for you.
That's hiding the legs, that's all that is. But walking into that gym, fuck me, I couldn't put into words how uncomfortable I felt for like my first session in there. I didn't know what I was doing. I was going in there trying to lift 30 kilo dumbbells just because I thought, oh, that big guy's doing it, so if I do it, I can look like him. I must have injured myself countless times doing doing the leg press and fully locking my legs out because I wanted the big guy to respect me. I'm 13 years old. He could fucking throw me across the gym if he wanted to. He was never going to look at me and give me the respect to the weight I was trying to lift. Because I was in my ego. I was like, oh, if I do this, I could potentially look like him. I could maybe be a better person. But it didn't come through, and I gave up after 2 weeks. Well, fucking hell. This Kinder Bueno's killing me, boys. Sorry, guys, before we did start, we were eating Kinder Buenos, but someone made a mess.
My bad.
So yeah, this story isn't going to be all down, like, sad and all this bullshit, because at the end of the day, that gave me the experience I needed to be who I am, because I want to help people. And the only way I got over my anxiety was, sadly, to suck it up and deal with it. Because I started going to the gym 13 to 16, never kept it up, always started doing stupid shit. And then what really forced me to go to the gym was the loss of a family member. It gave me a better goal for something I really wanted to put forward. And I still can't hit that goal now. It's been 10 years, roughly. And I'm still going to aim for that goal because it keeps me sane. I don't know if anyone listening to this if I've articulated it right, because I've been a little bit jumbled. But this is what I'm trying to say. All anxiety does come from a place that you need to find the root of. And I'm messing my words up now, guys, because I'm just sat vibing back to how I was when I was skinny.
Yeah, but this is what it does to you. You know, you start to really delve into it and connect those feelings together, and it does become a bit overwhelming. Suddenly you feel like you felt back then in that moment walking into the gym for the first time. I was exactly the same. So me working out started from a place of insecurity. I was a skinny fat kid going into my teens. I became super slim, like just literally a stick man. And much like I'm sure it's difficult for people starting very overweight, it was a very uncomfortable place starting very underweight as well, because there was this expectation of what you should be able to do and what you should be able to look like. So again, walking into the gym for the first time, seeing people who clearly knew what they were doing and had built fantastic physiques or were able to lift massive amounts of weight, I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I wasn't ready to be there. But how can you possibly be ready to be there if you don't get started? And that was the recognition you have to kind of come to terms with. It became a case of, well, although I am uncomfortable here, I am more uncomfortable at home in my own little box, worrying about who I am versus who I actually want to be. So I had to make a choice. I had to decide what was more important to me, and taking those positive steps to improve my quality of life and my physique and my ability, and by vicariously my confidence, sort of exploded when I realized that actually, you know, everyone's there for their own reason. Suddenly it was no longer about how I felt about myself in the gym, it was about what I was working towards. Rather than focus on the right here, right now, it helped me dramatically to focus on, you know, 6 weeks from now, what am I aiming for? What am I trying to get to? It doesn't matter who I am or what I am right now, I'm working on myself to be something greater. That's what worked for me. What about yourself?
So mine initially started because in school originally, so those of you that don't really know my background, I've done kickboxing for the longest time. I started when I was 4, started competing, started growing up, loving the sport, got into the competing side of it, doing the tournaments, trained Monday to Saturday, tournaments on a Sunday. That was my life. Me and my dad going off every weekend doing that. And so my terms of like anxiety like that, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really have it because I was kind of just thrown into the world of, right, people are watching you, there's peer pressure, there's a crowd going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be like nights where we'd go out, I'd get scheduled for a fight night, people sat behind me having a steak, giving a pint, I'm in the middle of the ring. So and I'm the entertainment for the night. So my anxiety has always been not really going on like that. However, I think going through school at the same time as all that, I was always been known as the short lad, and in school I was a lot smaller in terms of like the height, but I was so thin, like I can't describe how bad, like it was just so bad. And to me it's like I always took it personally because there's nothing I can do about that. But so I started the gym to build, just get a bit bigger. I can't get my words out now either because I'm thinking about it. And the only thing that ever went through my head was, okay, you know, you're a teenager, you're going through the experiences of like puberty and everything else, you want to have a girlfriend and all that, and do you know what's going through my head? It's like, fuck, tall, dark and handsome, got none of it. Sound, so what can I do?
Short, wide and 3 legs.
So now we have evolved to short, wide and 3 legs. So that is what we've evolved to. So essentially now, fast track, I thought, okay, I can start building on myself, work on myself, work on the size. And do you know what? Now the short comments, I don't mind so much because I find them funny because I'm short and I can throw them. So it actually doesn't make a difference. Yeah. So like, little, you know, I crack jokes back. It's like that little man syndrome. I just find it a bit funny now. It's like, Jay won't admit it, but me and him go on the punch bag. I beat him on the punch bag now because I'm half the size, but little man's got shoulders. So
I'm just going to interrupt you. I
knew we'd get a reaction.
So everyone here right now can clearly see if me and you stood up, only one of us can hit the punch bag. So you know that's a lie. I'm just throwing it out here because in butlers they don't have a step.
Listen. So.
That's right, Jay wouldn't stand up anyway because then you'd see the lack of legs. Turning sideways and disappearing. He still does from the waist down.
You realise I'm the only one here wearing shorts. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, in terms of the anxiety, I will be honest with you, I was very fortunate because of the kickboxing, so I can only thank my family for that. But in terms of the gym, it was very much of tall, dark and handsome. You're none of that. You need to make a change. You're short as hell. Nothing's going to happen with it. That's what you're going to stick with. You need to just... it was more for me. It was more for like a mental space. But now it is honestly probably it's my sanctuary. I train all the time now, not because I want to get bigger anymore. I do, but it's just makes me feel good.
Can you say it's like
Makes me feel good.
Ingrained?
Yeah, it's
gotta
my
be.
lifestyle now. Do you know what I mean? If I'm pissed off, I go train. If I'm happy, I go train. I'm angry, I go train. Like I'm coming out happy regardless.
Consistency.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
consistent with your routine, and it's. I'm not going to steal limelight for you for too long, but with the gym, I get. I'm not going to say irritable, but I know I'm not myself. If
Frustrated.
I go 3 or 4 days without like going to the gym, I know in myself I'm not feeling good.
Yeah.
Like, I can explain it in the sense of if I was driving my car, I know I put the wrong fuel in, or I wasn't driving it properly.
Yeah.
Like there's just something. Everything's not adding up.
Yeah.
So on the days I don't get to go to the gym, I think in the last 10 years, I think the longest I've ever missed the gym was 2 weeks, and that was because I physically couldn't train.
Yeah, I bust your arm on an arm wrestle, wasn't it? So, so basically, we had a bet to do like an arm wrestle. I bust his, as I said before, little man syndrome, and then I bust his arm, and then he couldn't train.
I still trained.
I still train. Don't do that shit. I work because of that. And I'm just throwing it out for the record. Right? I'm not throwing it out for the
Couldn't leave it.
record.
Couldn't possibly just leave it.
No, I'm not doing that. Not at all. So for the record, this arm wrestle did happen. And I will admit, or I do admit, he did pull a tendon. I'll give him that. That was my own fault. Because I was stupid. But the part he left out is that Weatherspoons had to get a new table because of how hard I put him through it.
Listen, I'm right-handed, and I did it with my left.
I'm leaving this to the viewers. That's what I'm doing. I'm leaving it to the viewers. They can believe.
So we would love to go through a couple of questions that we've got based on anxiety now that I've got through a couple of clients, and I know you guys have got through as well.
Yeah, I think we all put out a question on Instagram and Facebook just through the stories, give the audience a chance to respond and sort of get their viewpoints put onto the show. So we are actively answering your questions that you've sent us.
Yeah, that's what this is about, in all honesty, guys. We want to help as many people as we can, give you as much information as we can, and also give you a bit of insight into us. Because if you can relate to us, you'll trust us in the nicest possible way, because you know we've been through what you're feeling.
Yeah.
Because for me, experience is massive. Like, I wouldn't go to a bald barber. Sounds fucking mental. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some amazing barbers out there that do not have any hair. It's the same as I wouldn't go to a skinny chef. I need to know someone eats their food. And it is stereotyping, don't get me wrong, it's the same in the gym. When you look for a personal trainer, 9 times out of 10, you're looking for someone who looks like they train.
Looks like they just take care of themselves. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, they walk the walk, you know?
Because they're leading by example. Because for me, like, even when I started training, even the personal trainers I would gain advice from, or even just go and have a chat with, they looked like I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an idol, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what I want it like that.
And even some of the guys in the gym now, like, my gym anxiety's gone. I will hold my hands up from beforehand. I can, like, some of you guys might even notice, I can sit and walk up to anyone in the gym, have a chat, have a laugh, find out what they're like. And I love that, especially to the massive guys, because that's where I want to be. I'm constantly going up to some of the bigger guys and going, fucking hell, mate, how long you been training? You look immense. And the faces they pull, if you just give someone that nice compliment, us as a gym culture has become so selfish. It's all about me, main character syndrome.
Yeah.
We're not the main characters in everyone's story. We're not even the fucking main character in
Our own story half the time.
Because I can guarantee you right now, you may think you're the main character, but you spend more time thinking about other people.
Yeah.
You're not main character, guys. As much as you would love to be, and that's the problem with what we are at the moment. We care more about everyone else than ourselves.
I think we spend too much time trying to impress people that we don't like.
Yeah. Oh, fuck me, yeah. No, it's just like the people that buy white BMWs. Like, I don't know why,
It's moaning, I'll have an R1 soon. It's the same thing, I'll have my motorbike, so it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, but back to Ethan's point, yeah, we all did put out some social media content, and what we're going to do now, we're going to answer one question each from each of our guys, and then any questions we have missed, come in the comments below our video.
Yeah, remind us, because we'll absolutely get to it in a future video if we don't have time today.
Yeah, because all we want to do, guys, is help. That's the reason we started this podcast. We're not here to get rich and famous. I don't even like being in the limelight. But if I know that like all three of us can come together and help one person, even if one person watched our video and was fuck me, that helped, I'm happy.
That's a win. That's a win. Success.
Yeah, and that's all we want. So I think then, guys, who's going first?
Do we want to stop and start the recording?
No, we're good. We might as well carry it on. So guys, we are going to go for the last 5 minutes. We're going to go through some of the hosts we've got. I'm happy to take the first one.
Yeah, do the first one.
Go ahead, man.
Okay then, guys. So
someone that we know, isn't it?
Oh, are we giving names out on this?
Yeah, we can shout him out. We know who it is.
We sure?
Yeah, it'll be alright.
Okay, so oddly enough, guys, I don't even know how to work fucking social media. Okay, so one of the big problems we have, we're not going to do that one. We're not doing the one that mentions you.
No.
So the one we did have. So this is a big one because I've experienced this myself.
Sure.
And my scenario with that was kind of weird, but I'll tell you the backstory to it now. So one of the things I got, what causes you anxiety? Seeing my ex. Fuck me. Everyone on this video right now best be going, fuck. fuck. Do you know what I mean? And seeing them in your sanctuary, the gym.
The safe space.
Fuck me, yeah, the safe space. Like, that's what we like to call it. But sadly, in life, things don't last. Relationships, people, friendships. And when you lose them, and you don't talk to them again, you don't see them, you lose a part of yourself. Because you've invested your time. You've invested your time, your effort, your kindness, your love.
Your emotion.
Your fucking patience. Because the things that your partner at the time would do, you'd never let anyone else do to you. Like, when we've sat and just chopped it up about previous things, I've been sat there going, fuck me, mate, how have you done that? And we've all sat there and gone, it's love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, you hurt yourself for the one you love the most.
Yeah.
That's life. And for me, my ex at the time trained. There was no doubt about it. And Gloucester's a small area, so you're guaranteed to bump into him at least once. When I first saw that person, it must have been, 6 months after we broke up? And this was a long relationship. And I mean, I'm talking like 3, maybe some years, something like that.
So a significant part of your life.
Yeah, 3, maybe 4 years. And then seeing that person just become a stranger with memories when you had that connection is mental. And then seeing them in the gym as well.
In your place. Which is...
And it's worse if you brought them to it. Do you know what I mean? It's not... I'm not trying to say, oh no, they should just fuck off, rah. Because you're not talking to them, you're not communicating, you don't know what your schedules are realistically, because everything changes.
Yep.
And you're going in for your session feeling like shit. Like, from a male perspective, ladies, you honestly do not understand how shit we feel. Because we got no choice. You can sit there, cry to your mates all fucking day long, slate the other person, do whatever the fuck they want. We can't do that as men. I can't fucking sit here with you boys, blubber my little eyes out, and then think everything's going to be okay. We're not wired that way to do that. Carry on. No, carry on.
So it's funny because it's something that we do want you to be able to do. You know, as people who genuinely care about each other, as friends do, you want them to feel comfortable opening up to you and really expressing your emotions. But we have been conditioned for a very long time that our feelings aren't important to other people. You know, everyone has their own shit. You just got to carry on. You just got to get on with it. Oh, no one needs to hear what's going on in your life because they've got more than enough stuff going on in their life. It's absolutely incorrect.
Yeah, problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah, man.
And if you got the boys with you, like as a male, guys, the best advice I will ever give anyone through my own personal experience is is grab the boys that you can trust. Yeah. And you fucking know the ones you can trust. Not all you fuckers out here going, yeah, I trust all my boys. Do you? Because trust me, in your circle, the maximum people you can really trust is probably about 4 or 5 max.
I'm out.
Like that's it, because not everyone wants to see you succeed. And coming back to the point of the ex in the gym, how did we get over it? I'm going to say it the easiest fucking way. I changed gyms. I'm not even going to sit and deny this, because the simple fact of the matter is, you know, at some point other people are going to be chatting. Like they're either be coming up to your ex or they're coming up to you. And then if you're sat there, because the relationship had split and you had this much time, it was an awkward one. It's like, oh, okay, so now they're going to be doing what I was doing.
You're watching it, isn't it? It's like you're third person in that next book.
Yeah.
It's like you're reading the narration of a different book, of a different volume. It's like
your chapter hasn't ended.
Yeah.
Because you haven't closed the book yet.
Yeah.
And after a relationship, it's really fucking hard. And I'll say this to anyone, guys: if you finish the relationship, there is no specific time it's going to take you to heal. Some people can heal in a week, some people can heal in a year, and some people never heal. It's being able to move on and live with what you've got and be happy with it. Because in the nicest fucking way, you can sit and look at the past. You can sit and ask yourself all those questions. Is there anything I could have done? Is there anything I could have changed? You reflecting on those things doesn't change the current situation you're in. It's not going to bring that person back. It's not going to they're not magically going to go, yeah, do you know what? I made a mistake. No, because it doesn't work. We've been conditioned by Disney. Fairy tale fucking... The only Disney princess I want to be is Snow White. I want to be able to sleep and have 7 people cook for me.
I actually like the sleeping thing.
I respect that.
I actually like the sleeping thing. Those of you that don't know, I have like, what, 3 power naps a day?
Yeah, he's kidding. That's all it is.
Love
So, back to the point before, because we got the other guys to get onto, is, so for the person that is struggling seeing their ex in the gym, you actually have pretty much 2 options. Depending on how the relationship ended is a big one. If you were amicable...
I think that's key, though, is how it's ended.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you just think the best for the person, it's a bit easier, but obviously if it's ended, rough, then obviously you might have to change gyms.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And sometimes that does a lot better. Well, it doesn't do as much damage, because out of sight, out of mind. I'm a big believer in that. If I'm stressing about something, like, I'll think about it for a bit. If I can't change it, why am I stressing?
Can't change it.
You're worrying twice, because you're worrying before the situation happens. That is anxiety, because you're already pre-scared about something that's happening in the future. You aren't living in the moment. You need to be present in the moment, and you won't suffer as much anxiety because you're already preparing yourself for the worst. Like, I never in my fucking wildest dreams imagined bumping into my ex at the gym back then, because I was like, there's not a fucking chance this person's going to be coming to the same gym as me
at the same time.
I suppose if you're
the
living
same
in that
space.
past, though, isn't it? Like, you're not present for the future.
No, that's it. That's exactly it.
You're not present to see what,
And that's what we want to try and avoid. So my response again to the person that is, to the guys that are struggling seeing their exes in the gym, change gyms, guys. Because if that chapter's closed, there's no need to be browsing the index again.
Yeah.
You don't need to look at the front covers. You don't need to go through it. If that is truly what you've had to deal with and end, it's the end for a reason. You got a chance to move on, level up, step your game up, or you can sink lower. And 9 times out of 10, you always want to be better than the previous person. So yeah, that's mine, guys. Who we got next then? What do you think?
Question 2. I got it. I got a few people messages based on they don't want to wear shorts in the gym and it's roasting, but they don't want to wear the leggings because it's too hot at the moment. It's set at the moment, but like just in general, they don't want to because they're stressing or they're over stressing about cellulite. That's one of the biggest things I've had a response for. And do you know what? It's natural.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone's got it. Right?
It's natural.
Everyone.
And do you know what? Like, there's some things that you can accept. And do you know what? If a guy judges you for it, fuck him, because he doesn't realise what's going on. He doesn't realise it's actually natural to begin with. All right, so don't allow that. And do you know what, girls? I know you guys will stick by each other anyway with it. So You know, there's things that will happen on the body that I get and understand it's going to make you feel uncomfortable, like going through some bulking and cutting phases and things. Like now I've got stretch marks now that like it's things like I sit now like, but I have to just accept that that's what come with what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? So any thoughts, boys?
I mean, when it comes to sort of being insecure about you, how you sort of come across visually in a gym setting, obviously, for me at least, I think the biggest point is that you have to make peace with yourself. This is how you look. And if wearing leggings, for example, is making you too uncomfortable to work out, well, you have to make a choice between either being uncomfortable in that setting but getting it done, or being uncomfortable at home worrying about how you would feel if you went and did it. Well, only one of them has a positive outcome. And the worst case scenario, okay, you get a bit extra sweaty while you're working out. Why not take the shorts to the gym, go in your joggers, your leggings, whatever, go and get changed in a private space, go to the changing room, go to one of the little cubicles in the corner or whatever where no one's going to see you, get changed and just sit in your shorts. Just get used to your body looking the way it looks, because it does look like that right now. And if you're not able to go and take care of yourself because of this mental insecurity of feeling uncomfortable in leggings, well, you're going to continue to look like that. That's how you're going to look forever. If you're able to make those changes about yourself, well, suddenly that insecurity doesn't matter because it's in the past. You've made peace with how you look now, and you're looking at the future and the positive changes you're going to make to your body. You're already in the building, man. If it's that bad, put your joggers back on and go do it. Yeah. You're sat in the gym in your shorts. No one's looking at you. You're in a private space, and you can be comfortable in yourself, how you want to dress, what makes you comfortable. And then you can decide whether or not you're prepared to step out that door and jump on the treadmill, or if you need to put your leggings on first. Worst case scenario, you're
still getting it done.
You're still getting it done. You're still getting it done.
Regardless.
And that's bang on, to be fair. When it comes to cellulite as well, it's normal.
It's natural.
It's so normal, man.
It's the same as body hair, guys.
I don't know anyone. I've never been with a girl that doesn't have cellulite. I don't think.
I've never looked out for it.
Yeah.
I'll be
I don't even register it.
Yeah. Like, why am I focusing on something that's just natural when I could be just focusing on you? That's ridiculous. I'm not going to sit here and go, you've got a little bit of cellulite on the back of your leg. Big off put.
Yeah.
Fuck off. When I sit down, I look like Mr. Eggman. like my stomach rolls over when I'm bulking, so I don't really care. If you're a nice person, you're having a laugh. One of the biggest things I have found, most people point their flaws out and no one's even noticed them.
Yeah.
Do you know what's so funny you say that? It's like, you're absolutely right. It's like people pick their own flaws out because they're insecure about it. And do you know what? Half the time people won't even notice it unless you said.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to beat them to the punch.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to take the piss out of yourself before they do it.
So they can't say it.
Yeah.
So like you do it, you preemptively say it so they can't say it about you.
Yeah.
Listen, they're not thinking about it. They're not worried about it.
They don't give a shit.
And do you know when most of it comes from is the social media. It's like looking all the people, all the girls and all the boys and all the guys that you follow on there. It's like, do you know what? They look amazing. They do this. Listen, half that shit's lighting, half that shit's edited, half of them's got Photoshop, half of them's got a Photoshop team. It's not real. When girls, boys, guys, when we all sit down, we've all got roles.
Yeah,
it is normal.
I feel like Asda's Bakery sometimes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I mean? I'm rolling through.
Yeah.
Like that's, so, it's really easy for us to say, but all three of us have parts of our body that we're not fans of.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ethan even saying the stretch marks. I've got them on upper chest.
Yeah. I've got them on my hips.
I got them here now.
Yeah,
When I got fat in my mid-20s, my love handles exploded. I've still got deep purple stretch marks, man, and I'm aware of them. But they're not going to stop me doing what I want to do.
No.
They're there for life.
And
I've just got to suck it up.
I'm still wearing that vest regardless. The vest is coming on.
And I look at it like a badge. Like, I've had to put the work in to get these type of stretch marks. Do you know?
Tiger look. That's
Yeah,
tiger stripes.
yeah,
That's what they are.
yeah.
They're tiger stripes.
I've had to physically put my body through exertion
Mm-hmm.
to a level that it's not comfortable with, that it's tore itself.
Yeah.
So I could generate the new muscle mass, and that's not just going through stretch marks and cellulite.
Yeah.
It's anything.
Yeah.
Like
Your body changes
That's
when you
proof.
do
Do you
stuff.
know what that is? That's proof of progress.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That is proof of progress. That's what it is.
Mhm.
So yeah, like the cellulite issue, I wouldn't even stress too much, guys. Like we can happily sit and say this again, but if the person really cares about you, a little bit of cellulite ain't gonna fucking scare anyone away. Do you know what I mean?
Make peace with yourself. The person it bothers the most is you.
Yeah.
So you need to come to terms with what is on your body right now, because cellulite ain't going anywhere.